So, Joey,
So, Tom,
you have a topic.
I do. I have two topics.
You have two.
Well,
I only want one, though.
I'll just go. With
I'll
one
let
right
you
now.
hear. You do one, I'll do one, and then you do one.
That is a great idea. You know what we should do? We should make a show out of that.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh wait,
And then,
we already are.
but then,
See, I got the wink right this time.
oh yeah,
I didn't do two eyes.
You didn't do the double wink.
Yeah, the double wink. That's usually my trait.
All right.
All right.
Hit me.
My first topic has to do with movie ratings.
Movies. I love them.
Love them. Love
Hate 'em.
movies.
Love 'em.
Can't live with them. Can't live without them.
Yep.
Movies. And specifically about movie ratings. And this situation or this topic comes up as a result of a movie that's coming out on July 21st known as Dunkirk.
Which we will both be seeing.
Yeah, it looks like a
Unless
great
you
movie.
don't want to.
Yes. No, I do want to see a
Okay.
movie. I do like a classic war movie.
Yeah.
But, and this is the reason why for the discussion, is that it is rated PG-13. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because is it a big deal?
Can we
It's
see it?
PG-13?
Should we ask your parents?
Yeah, we should definitely ask my parents first.
Is that where you're going?
No.
Oh. Okay, never
All
mind. Totally misread.
So, it has to do with the movie ratings because you got to think that you ask anybody that was a part of this battle of Dunkirk or anyone that's been a part of warfare, and you say, okay, a movie is going to be made based off your experience, and it's going to be rated PG-13.
Right.
And that's where I wanted to start the discussion because I think, and am I super fired up about this? No. But I do think that there is a degree of disrespect in a way when it comes to a movie rating being PG-13 of a war movie because you look at a movie such as Saving Private Ryan, that was a great war movie. Some think is one of the best war movies ever created.
Probably
and
the best.
It was R, and rightfully so because of what the movie contained. And the reason why I say it has some of a form of disrespect because of the PG-13 movie is like I was saying, you ask anybody that has been a part of warfare and you ask how their experience was, and I guarantee you they're not going to say that their experience was PG-13.
Right. I think because I get what you're saying because we've had this conversation before, but do you think it's disrespectful to make a movie at all?
No, because I think that there is a right way and a wrong way to display what actually happened and what goes on past the fact of just a documentary
Right.
covering like actual facts and giving maybe like interviews and stuff like that.
Because my thing is it's entertainment.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And people are going to pay money for it. So if you're a vet and you see Dunkirk or Full Metal Jacket or Saving Private Ryan, whatever war movie that you wanted to see, I can imagine some people just being like, why, like, they might feel disrespect in the sense that they're just pissed off in general that someone would make what they went through entertainment.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So I understand that there's no war movie, technically speaking, if they want to be realistic, should ever be PG-13 ever.
No,
period.
yeah, exactly.
That's without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because, even life in general should never be PG-13 because life is not PG-13,
No.
let alone war.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. It's tough because I personally, I looked up some movies that were also PG-13 that I enjoyed. The most recent one was Bridge of Spies, which
Tom Hanks, great movie.
great movie. Cold War though, so a little bit different. But
Yeah.
again, no matter what,
Covert war violence rather than out in the open.
yeah, and there was only one scene with guns in the entire movie. So it was a little bit different. It was all the dialogue, but still, that movie technically probably should have been R because I can imagine the behind the scenes talks during that time were goddamn terrifying.
Yeah.
But Master and Commander, really old school. Like, did you ever see Master and Commander?
I don't think so.
It's not like a modern war movie. It's like ships, that type of deal. Great movie. One I hated because it had the potential to be great was Unbroken.
Yeah,
that was
that was another one that was PG-13 that my dad read the book.
Yeah,
and if you were to ask him how's the experience of that person and they made a movie about it, would they make it PG-13? He would say, hell no.
That movie was super Disney. And
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, Angelina Jolie directed it.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, but oh man, was it so Disney? Like it was just like unbearable for me personally because it was just so like him holding up the wood thing over him and the sun was perfect and all this stuff, and him being trapped and them just not really showing anything. And then when he comes home, the end movie ends, and I'm like, that's arguably where his battle really begins, because when he came home, he dealt with a ton of PTSD and trying to readapt. I mean, this dude was literally meant to not feel like a human. That was the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. So
and and it's not necessarily has to do with a war movie, but another example of why I wanted to talk about this was, have you heard the recent flack about the Tupac biopic movie?
Oh, no.
Because that a bunch of people, especially I think specifically Jada Pinkett Smith, because she was a really good friend with Tupac. Apparently, she complained immensely about the movie and how it was portrayed because they exaggerated certain things and then left out certain details, and then apparently, according to her, just changed details too. So it's like, if you're going to make a movie about a certain situation, you have to make it as real as possible. Now, if Dunkirk was a movie about
just a random war
a
movie.
battle, or maybe about a battle that was maybe portraying in that era,
or
that
fictitious.
exactly, that never actually happened.
I gotcha.
If you're gonna rate a movie like that, PG-13,
all right,
and make it for entertainment purposes,
I follow you.
That I would not have a problem with. But if you're going to be basing it off of real-time events,
then it's
it off a real battle with real people and real events, then that's how.
I will say, like, to the Tupac thing, I mean, I don't know if you saw Straight Outta Compton.
I did not.
Really well done movie.
Yeah.
But obviously, NWA was the protagonist, and they were seen in a very favorable light.
Mm-hmm.
And if you follow any of their personal interviews from way back in the day, they are not exactly the cleanest group of guys.
Yeah.
Love NWA, nothing against, Cube, Eazy-E, and Dr. Dre, but they did some shit, right? And I remember talking to my sister about it, because that was actually one of our complaints, was just like, they did do bad things.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't always, I'm not going to say like they portray themselves as clean, because they didn't, but there was this idea that it's like they were up top and people were trying to bring them down, and they never really showed like what they really did. That's getting off topic, but I still think that, Dunkirk's probably going to be a great movie.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. I have high expectations. It should be awesome. I don't know. Like, I understand what you're saying. I understand, like, why take a real battle that happened and make it basically, like, make it seem less serious.
And when you take a real battle like that and you make it PG-13, you're clearly making it, like, when you see movies, and then especially after you see them, when you say that movie should have been R, or that movie should have been R based on the event, like I'm saying, and they're made PG-13 so they can put more butts in seats.
Right.
And so they can make more ticket money. And actually, I wanted to talk about ratings specifically because the way that movies are rated it's pretty outrageous.
It's pretty, yeah.
The individual details are pretty outrageous. And if you don't know, movie ratings in general are created by the Motion Picture Association of America. So I'll go into details about what goes into a PG-13 rating, and then what goes into an R movie. Can we get
the most outrageous one out of the way first, though?
What's the outrageous one?
The most outrageous one is swearing.
Yeah, because it says, and this is verbatim as the rule states, single use of one of the harsher sexually derived words, fuck, though only as explicitive, initially requires at least a PG-13 rating. So if you're saying, like, fuck, like in anger, you can get one.
Yeah,
however,
get one mulligan.
More than one such explicitive, so you can only get one.
Yeah.
So if you get two, even if it's not in the sexual-oriented way, it's rated R automatically.
And you only get one if it's not sexual.
Yes, or if it is sexual, you mean?
No, if it's not. You get one if it's non-sexual.
Right.
But if it's sexual, you don't get one.
Yes. It must as must even one of the words.
Because I remember talking, or not talking, but like listening to like a behind the actor studio or something, whatever, and they were talking about that, and I was like, that makes no sense to me, whatsoever.
Yeah. And then when referring to violence, it says there may be depictions of violence, but generally not both realistic and extreme persistent violence. What's more realistic violence than war?
Yeah. No kidding.
So if there's not depictions of real violence, then how are they going to accurately correct? Because, I mean, and that's another argument for kind of the PG-13 rating not being right for a war movie. Because if you're, and it's again, it goes back to if you're actually covering real events, how can you accurately depict what actually went down and what actually occurred in order to correctly inform someone?
Right.
How are you going to do that with a PG-13 rating if it says that you cannot include realistic type violence?
I will say this. it is possible that they made the movie. And I mean, I do not know the story of Dunkirk, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. But I would just say, comparing it to Bridge of Spies, if the storyline caters better or doesn't have a lot of direct, intense violence in it.
You wouldn't get that sense from the trailer, that's for sure. They try to sell the action and the violence and
I don't know,
the
though.
excitement as much
To
as
me,
possible.
they don't at all.
In the trailer?
Yeah. I mean, there's bombings,
Yeah.
for sure. But I just mean, like, it's not this like when I saw if you watch the trailer for Saving Private Ryan, the violence in it was very different, because to me the violence in Dunkirk was like avoiding some bombs, and it was really the captain trying to rescue people.
Well, that's probably why they could get away with Bridge of Spies being PG-13, because they put so much emphasis on the covert and the background, behind the scenes type stuff, rather than what actually went on.
But in the trailer they showed the gunshots. And
Yeah.
that was the only scene with gunshots in it.
When he crosses the bridge and then like all those spotlights
And he
come
like
onto
looks,
him.
he looks in the subway or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's like looking out. Like
Yeah.
that was one of the biggest emphasized parts in the trailer,
True.
and that was only one scene.
Yeah.
And that was the only gunshots in the entire movie,
Yeah.
if I remember.
Yeah.
Maybe,
and it
maybe
definitely
like one other scene, but
Mhm. So what goes into an R-rated movie is that may include adult themes, adult activity, hard language, intense and persistent violence, sex-oriented nudity, obviously, but you can include butts in PG-13 movie,
truth.
but not persistent nudity, as it says.
Right.
And the fact that you can, especially, I mean, there are some movies with PG-13 ratings that get away with quite a bit of violence.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like they say realistic violence. What they just mean is not a lot of blood, blah, blah, blah. But something like Fast and the Furious, which is in essence a violent movie.
Yeah.
But
because
it's
not
just,
God knows how many people they're actually killing according to the movie,
yeah.
but they don't show any blood.
but they're
So
just
you know who
kicking
cares?
and punching. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're knocked out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. And even if they
fell
shoot
down a
someone,
car or
they shoot them and then they fall down, but there's like no blood.
right, exactly.
And it's
So-
pretty ridiculous that in the United States that you can get away with so much violence. I mean, we've seen how many violence you can get or how much violence you can get away with on TV, and yet you show like one bit of nudity and
I
or say
remember-
2 fucks, and it's just all out the window,
I'm
rated
trying to
R,
re-
possible
I wish I could
NC-17.
remember what it was, but I remember there was a show where there's like a wardrobe malfunction, and this like lady's top came down a little bit,
Mhm.
and like you would have thought that she punched the Pope in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, people were just absolutely irate, but the next night, Walking Dead comes out,
Yeah.
and a baseball bat just straight to the dome, and they just whack this dude, and like, that's fine.
It's so brutal and I don't even get into The Walking Dead, but when I heard about the scene, I looked it up on YouTube.
I mean, I got really into it, and then I dropped out of it, and then that scene came up, and everyone was talking about it, so of course I had to watch it.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, this should be HBO.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and especially if you watch shows like American Horror Story.
Oh yeah.
American Horror Story, especially the one with Coven, how they had all those flashbacks with
Yeah.
I mean I forget what the actress' name is, but they have like these slave encampments, and it's just like it's so dark and twisted and stuff. And this is on TV where literally anybody can watch it.
Yeah.
At least PG-13, kids have to be 13 or older or accompanied by a parent. If they're not, TV, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And this shit is so much worse
Yeah.
than what's probably
I
going to be
mean-
portrayed in Dunkirk, which is a war movie.
Ratings in general, they're pretty stupid.
And they say TV mature, like that does anything. It's like one of
Yeah.
those things on the porn sites where they ask for your age.
yeah.
It's just like 1960,
So
whatever.
I was born in 1905.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I'm excited for the movie no matter what.
I'm probably going to see it.
I will definitely watch it.
But
without a
it was
doubt.
just an interesting point that I wanted to bring up as a topic of conversation just because I would like it. It would probably be a better movie,
yeah. And
especially because as you get older, and it's not like I like
I
violence.
was just gonna say, yeah.
But especially I get into wartime stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
World War II and HD on History Channel is like my favorite documentary ever.
Ever.
And I get super into the old world wars and learning more and more about them and learning about how the conditions were, how the battles went, all that stuff, all the nitty-gritty details.
Mhm.
And I'm sure Dunkirk will be a great movie, but if it was they would be able to portray what actually went down, what the battles actually were, what the soldiers had to actually go through.
Mhm.
And I feel like I would not only get a lot more out of that as a viewer, especially when you watch a movie and get emotionally attached to it,
It would be better.
it would be a better experience, and you'd probably learn more.
Right. Yeah, I get that. And I think I think 90% of America would agree with it, but
If you agree with us, let us know in the comments below.
dollar signs.
Dollar signs.
I mean,
What do you mean?
if you can sell more tickets,
Oh, yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Put more asses in the seats. That's all that matters in the end.
So, that's yeah. There's no like right or wrong answer.
True. Yeah. No,
It's
I just wanted to get your opinion
It's
about
just
it.
like, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, for me, it's like I want my entire life to be R and TVMA for the rest of my life because it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to water down anything at
Exactly.
this point.
Yeah.
So
And like I said, one of the main reasons why was just because I get into learning more and more about it that
yeah.
if it's going to be an accurate depiction, that I want it to be as accurate
And with
as
war, it's
possible.
obviously sensitive because
Yeah.
everyone wants to be as tasteful and respectful as possible, no
Exactly.
matter what. There's still World War II vets around. There's
Yeah.
still a lot of vets in general. So everyone wants to take care of them, and no one wants to piss them off.
Yeah.
And I'm on board with
Yeah.
that. I would think that is the right choice.
True.
But business is business for a lot of people. So
True that.
I have a feeling this probably comes down to money.
True that. Let us know in the comments section below what you think about if you think that movie ratings should be what they are. If
Or
you think
should they be
or just-
lower?
or they
should they
should
be
just
PG or G?
should Dunkirk be a G-rated movie, or do you think that movie ratings should just go to hell?
Everyone has like squirt guns.
Yeah. Let us know on youtube.com/TJENT.
ENT.